From Axios Philadelphia, let me pronounce that again. Isaac Avelucia from Axios Philadelphia. David Barrera of Diversify Photo. Cora Cervantes, a Los Angeles freelancer. Christy Fajardo of Fox 11 Los Angeles. Astrid Galvan of Axios Latino. Cecilia Hernandez Cromwell of Telemundo, Oklahoma. Albert Macias of KJZZ. Steve Malave, a visiting professor at the University of South Florida, and Sabrina Moreno of Axios Richmond. We are indebted to them. You can find more information about them in our ebook. You can applause, but I won't hear you, but we can offer it. We also want to thank our Rose Gold level sponsor, the New England News Collaborative. You've made so many NHJ events possible, including this one. Your contribution will help NAHJ New England grow and remain sustainable over the next several years. And of course, we want to thank our platinum level sponsor and my former employer, the Boston Globe. Your generous contribution made this event possible, and it will help NAHJ New England expand its career development programs. And honestly, this is the funds that we use to get people to conferences. Conferences are really the main reason I even have jobs in journalism over the last 20 years. It's where we meet our people. It's where we connect. It's where we see family. Now we're going to hear brief remarks from Cristina Silva, managing editor for local news at the Boston Globe, and a remarkable journalist that I've known since I was around 21 years old and I got into this business. I can't wait to hear what she has to say. Cristina.
Thank you, everybody. I'm so excited to be here. We're being so formal, but that's actually what's really great about this community is that we don't have to be like so buttoned up like we're in the office. We're with our people and we can be a little bit more loose with it. I'm so excited to be here. I am the managing editor of local news for the Boston Globe. I've been in the Boston region for about a year now. And one of the reasons I decided to come back to Boston is because of the vibrant, beautiful Latino community here and the way NHJ New England has helped bring the Latino journalists in the region together. I knew that I was going to be in good hands, and they haven't let me down for a second, helping me, figure out where I want to live and where to eat. So shout out to all of y'all. So the Globe is very proud to sponsor NHJ New England's second annual awards to recognize Hispanic and Latino journalists who represent our heritage and our culture. And all of you who work diligently to provide inclusive and thorough coverage of the Latino community in New England. I'm so grateful for this opportunity to speak on behalf of the Boston Globe and to celebrate my talented colleagues and reaffirm the Globe's commitment to NHJ and to every day doing a better job of covering the Latino community and supporting Latino journalists. This is a matter that's really dear to my heart. Many studies show that we are vastly underrepresented in our newsrooms. Our stories are not always being told, our people are not being listened to, and our journalists are not always getting the opportunities they deserve. I'm so grateful for this community to work together to try to change that. So last year, Marcela Garcia, a Globe columnist, associate editor, and an editorial board member, was the recipient of NHJ New England's Impact Award. She's been celebrated for being such a leader in the community and sharing stories that reflect Latino needs and desires and advocating for Latino issues. If you have not already, please subscribe to her bilingual newsletter, Mira. It's really insightful commentary about issues of the day and also sometimes pictures of her beautiful dog. So, hey. So this year, we are also pleased to celebrate another Globe editor who's being recognized by this group. Melissa Barragan Torrado is this year's recipient of the Impact Award. She is the leader of our education team, The Great Divide, which looks at educational inequalities in Massachusetts and Greater Boston. This team produces a lot of really thoughtful narratives, breaking news, investigations on what is happening with underrepresented communities in New England. And I'm so proud to know her and to be her colleague. So thank you so much for having me.
So when I pause, I'm pausing for your emojis. So let's assume that if we were in person, you would be screaming and shouting, but I'm expecting emojis. People here deserve emojis. Thank you, Cristina. And I agree, we are being very formal. I will work on that. Let me see if I can loosen this up a little bit. If we were in person, I feel like I would feel less formal. I also remember during the pandemic going to like Zoom clubs in New York, watching on Zoom as people danced in different parts of the country, and that's what this feels like, but without the club music. Anyway, NHJ New England really appreciates your support, Christy. Now it's time to reveal the winners. We encourage all of you in the audience, as I said, to use the chat function and congratulate the winners as we proceed. And we have slides that ideally I will not give away as I'm telling you their names. So for the very first time, which is I'm very proud of the fact that this board has added awards this year because we have such a wide swath of work that's being done across New England. For the very first time, we're announcing an award for Best Print and Digital Story for small outlets. If you want to do drum rolls in your own house, our winner for second place is Samuel Petruccelli, reporting for the Boston Business Journal. And the second place award goes for his story, the NAACP convention cuts back neighborhood visits due to extreme heat. Congratulations, Samuel. Fantastic. Thank you for the emojis.
Thank you so much.
And then, surprising no one, frankly, for his incredible work, taking first place in the print and digital category for small outlets is, again, Samuel Petruccelli, reporting for the Boston Business Journal. His first place story is East Boston has your attention. Can it keep its character? Congratulations, Samuel, and feel free to say a few words if you'd like.
Yeah, I'm incredibly honored to receive these two awards. Thank you so much, not only for the award, but also for this opportunity. I feel very strongly that being a reporter is, an opportunity, and it's been a pleasure, these past 4 or 5 years. And so I'm just grateful that I get to share this joy with all of you guys. And yeah, I mean, I really feel that at the end of the day, our work can just be, not only a commitment of love for the communities that we cover, but also a commitment of love for ourselves. And so again, just thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, someone. Thank you so much. And it honestly also was a pleasure to get to know you working at BUR, which was a great opportunity as well. So we're moving into the Print and Digital Award for large outlets. This year's finalists covered a wide range of issues, from mental health to the labor market to the influx of migrants seeking refuge in New England. We're starting with our third place award. That goes to, you can precede me if you'd like, Sarah Betancourt of GBH News for state scrambles to respond to migrant families sleeping at Logan Airport. Congratulations, Sarah. Then let's move into the second place award for Best Print and Digital Story goes to Mari Carmen Cajawaringa of Connecticut Public for Connecticut's Undocumented Workers. Is Mari Carmen here? I wasn't sure if I saw her.
I'm Frankie Graziano. I'm from Connecticut Public. I can step in and thank Madi if we need to do that.
Perfect. And then we'll move into the first place award for the Best Print and Digital Story, which goes to Ana Huaracao for her Boston Globe magazine cover story, Isabel Garcia Knows the Danger of Mental Health Crises. She has a life-saving message. Congratulations, Ana. Please take a moment to say a few words.
Oh my gosh, this is just, I'm really just humbled and really honored. I wrote some notes down just so I don't forget anything of what I want to say about this moment. So firstly, thank you so much to the judges and to NAHJ New England for this opportunity and for your continuous support. This was a really heavy story for me to report on. Writing, thinking, and asking questions about suicide attempts, suicidal ideation, and mental health issues is not easy. And I want to emphasize I would not have been able to finish this without the NHJ community. I was really inspired by stories of suicide and mental illness in my family and just how much of a life or death situation that stigmas, language barriers, and a lack of care can cause. I'm really still so honored that people like Isabel, Felix, and many others in the story picked up my calls, answered my emails, and trusted me with their experiences. And then lastly, I just really want to dedicate this moment to my mom, whom I lost last year. She's the inspiration for this story. She drives my passion for storytelling every day. And I wish that she could share this moment with me right now. Thank you all.
Anna, that was so gorgeous. Thank you so much. Thank you for your vulnerability. Thank you for your journalism. This area really needs you. And it's such an honor to see this and to present you with this. Everybody, I'm expecting your emojis and your applause. That was a great speech. We are moving into a favorite of mine, the radio and audio category. And I'm going to try and not go too quickly with this. So we've got the third place award goes to Connecticut Public for The Wheelhouse, focusing on Latino communities in Connecticut. This team includes host Frankie Graciano, producers Chloe Wynn and Kay Perkins, Latino communities reporter Mari Carmen Cajawaringa, and Latino Initiative editor Sabrina Herrera, who is also on our board at NAHJ New England. Congratulations to everybody. Taking second place is Edward Fitzpatrick, host of the Boston Globe's Rhode Island Report podcast, for putting Latino stories on the main stage. Edward, thank you so much for offering to speak on behalf of Mari Carmen, and congratulations. And then the first place award for the radio and audio story category goes to Sarah Betancourt of GBH News for With Strife Behind Them, a young migrant family prepares to seek asylum in Boston. Congratulations, Sarah. Please take a moment to say a few words. I'd love to hear about your reporting on this. You've done an incredible job over the last several months.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much, NAHJ New England, for the honor of this award and for taking the consideration to really think about how, not just what happens when migrant families arrive in Massachusetts and New England, but also what happens after. And I really think that thanks goes to this family like Freddie, Fredar, little Sherry, and Adriana for taking many months to trust me and to let me into their home and spend time with them. It was really an honor to get to know them and really put a face on what people really go through in terms of just trying to get health care, trying to deal with education here in Massachusetts as a new arrival. And it was really an honor to tell their story.
Thank you, Sarah. We are moving into TV and video, and this is the student category. We have really remarkable students in NAHJ New England. We've been very lucky to both host events alongside them and see their chapters actually expanding in an area where I think Latino student journalists are seeking both, chapters of their own and to eventually be part of this chapter so that we can see it move forward and sustain itself. So we have one winner in the student category for Best TV and Video Story. And this journalist is pretty remarkable. I met him actually through the Latino Reporter at an NAHJ convention. Initially, I think we met in New England and he did that program. And now he's also working with the Globe. He's kind of working throughout the area doing remarkable work. Jael Beto for Alvarez Street's icon Burro faces eviction. The video was published in the Latino Reporter. Congratulations, Jael. Please say a few words.
Wow. Muchas gracias. Wow, I don't even know what to say. I'm so just grateful to be part of this incredible team and community. I just want to take it back to last year when I got to go to the conference for the first time in Miami as an emerging journalist. Like I said, in a letter that I wrote, it was truly a life-changing experience. And the connections that I made, from there, I still carry on, and I've been able to form these strong connections, and that's led me to so many opportunities that I'm just so grateful for. And then also being able to do the student project at this year's conference in the summer, that was just such an incredible experience. One that I've never experienced before. I've been on so many teams, and just in that 1 week, we literally family, we were family in all senses of the word. I was just in one, we were all sobbing at that, on the last day, and that I had never felt so much emotion, from working on a team. So the fact that we all got to work together. This was like a multimedia piece, this Olvera Street visual piece that I ended up making, and just because of that strong collaboration and that connection that we have as Latinx journalists, I think that's why it was such a great product at the end. But yeah, I'm just super grateful. And I honestly owe it to, my advisor, my mentors, everyone at the Boston Globe, the video team at the Globe that I got to work with over the summer, Randy and the entire team, my advisor that I've known for years now, Cindy, supporting the Emerson chapter here. Like that's honestly, we're picking it back up, so we're hoping to make it bigger and better. So yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, Jen. That was really gorgeous. Congrats to our award winners. I'm going to pass it over to Belen Dumont, the freelance journalist and secretary of NAHJ New England.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Priscilla. I'm honored to be a part of this. So kind of following up with that, in our TV video category, we do have 2 winners. So our second place goes to Bianca Beltran of NBC Boston for Local Breaker Helps Grow New Olympic Sport. Yeah, see all the emojis. I love the love. For our first place winner, we have, drum roll, Raquel C. Zaldivar of New England News Collaborative for Conexión, How Chili Dipping in Vermont has deepened these Latinos' connection to nature and each other. Congratulations, Raquel. Please take a few moments to say a few words.
Hi, I'm here. Thank you so much. This is truly an honor. This story was really, really fun to tell, and it started out from a collaboration with some of our reporters at Vermont Public, who literally called and said they need to do this story this week because they are going to Mexico for a few months. And I bought, true story, I bought a pair of waders, like I call them fish pants, but waders to go into the water because this was in February in Vermont. And I probably should have bought a wetsuit, but waders is all I could think of. And I met some really impressive women in Vermont who have some really amazing connections, and I was so happy to be able to connect with them and tell their story. I went into the water again. It was freezing. But it was really, really cool to learn about them and their friendship and create this video and tell their story. So thank you so much. And thank you to all our collaborators at the NENC, because I couldn't have done this video or this series without them.
That's so beautifully said. Thank you. So fortunately for the first time, we are going to be presenting an investigative reporting award. We have selected 1 winner. The first place award goes to our lovely the USA Today Network for this Massachusetts police practice skews racial profiling stats. This team includes former Cape Cod Times reporter Jeanette Hinkle, Worcester Telegram and Gazette reporter Brad Petrushin, former USA Today data reporter Dan Camille, and USA Today data reporter Deanne Zhang. So congratulations, and if Brad's here, please feel free to say a few words.
I am here. Can you hear me? All right. So on behalf of my amazing reporting partner, Jenny Hinkle, we'd like to thank NAHJ New England for this award. It really means a lot to us. We, along with our editor, Ann Brennan, and our data team partners at USA Today, Deanne Zhang, Dan Keemihill, and Doug Caruso, to name a few, we worked very hard at obtaining and analyzing huge amounts of data to put this story together, as well as with the help of my colleague, Kinga Burundi, to tell the stories of people who are literally being erased as a result of this serious gap in our state's collection of traffic stop data. There's a lot of information in these stories, and I'd love for you all to read them. But at the core, we see this as an accountability story, a story about a state whose politicians often talk about racial justice, not finding a way to ensure that it's collecting accurate and complete data about who's being stopped on its roadways, and by implication, failing to meaningfully look at racial bias in traffic stops, the most common interaction that police have with the public and a major pipeline into the criminal system. Jenny and I hope this work will serve as a catalyst for future reporting and academic study. We think this topic has been understudied and reported locally and nationally, and will likely only become more important given the current political climate. So I will be looking to follow up on this topic, which so far lawmakers have yet to meaningfully address, and would encourage others to do so as well.
Thank you both for your work and your reporting. It's such an exciting time to really share all of this. So yeah, waiting for some more comments in the chat. Love to see it. So I guess moving on, we have so many. I'm so excited to give all these awards out. So for the first time again, we are also presenting an award in the photography category. We have selected one winner. And this year, the award goes to, again, we have Raquel C. Zaldivar of the New England News Collaborative for A Journey Continues. Migrants Reflect 1 Year After Being Flown to Martha's Vineyard. Congratulations again, Raquel. Feel free to take another moment. We absolutely would love to hear about this.
Thank you. I appreciate it. This is another, again, story born out of collaboration, our collaborators at CAI. And I just got a call that we had to go photograph this person, and I just drove over, and it was really, really nice spending time with him and learning more about his journey here to the United States and how he was feeling when he got to Massachusetts. And I'll just say that visuals are really important to me, and I think it's not only important to write and report stories about our Latino communities, but to actually see them in video and in photo, because it really matters. So thank you so much.
I have to say, it's such a privilege to really hear about kind of the backstory behind some of these stories, and kind of give a view into that. So I'm really excited to dive into all of these when I will make the time. And so we now have our next category is opinion. We're going to start with our second place winner, and that is Marcela Garcia of the Boston Globe for What Does It Mean to Lose Special Places Where Latinos Gather in Boston. Love seeing the chat. And so, yes. And so now our first place winner for opinion, and that goes to, shocker, Marcela Garcia of the Boston Globe for her column, A Heartbreaking Visit to the Hometown of a Missing Boston Woman. Her follow-up story, Andreina Carolina Morales Rojas. Congratulations, Marcela. Please take a moment to say a few words.
Thank you, Belen, and thank you, Steph and Cristela and the rest of the New England board of the NAHJ. I want to take a moment now to really, really say thank you for recognizing opinion journalism, because the last time I checked, the national awards, the NAHJ awards, do not have an opinion category, which is kind of shocking. I realize that there aren't a lot of opinion writers who are Latinos, but I feel like this is a great way to elevate this work. And there are Latinos writing opinion, and I really appreciate the recognition and the fact that you're elevating opinion and columnists with this category. Thank you for recognizing this work. A shout out to Lisa Button for pushing me to write that Globe Magazine piece, and this one too that won the first place. It's such a sad story that I think about all the time, but I appreciate you recognizing this work. Thank you so much.
Marcela is a remarkable journalist and an incredible mentor. She was a mentor to me when I first got to the Globe, and just makes space when you come over from the other side of the newsroom and need an ear. So I appreciate you, and I'm grateful that your work changes minds in this region. We need all of your work. I'm just so proud to be a part of this chapter, truly. Congratulations to all the winners. Thank you for presenting these awards, Beleng. And now for our most prestigious accolade of the evening, the Impact Award. More from Steph.
Hi. So I'm gonna get into that, but first of all, let's give one more round of applause, emojis, like whatever type of shout out you want to give for the award winners so far. I'm so excited that we get to share this moment with you all after seeing all your hard work. Okay, so the Impact Award. This award honors a New England journalist who embodies the mission of NAHJ. This is someone who pushes for Latina representation behind the scenes, mentoring reporters, advocating for better coverage during meetings, and taking journalists to NHJ New England events and other meetings, sometimes dragging us when we don't want to go and we just want to be home curled up by ourselves, but making sure we spend time together and support one another. This year's winner, as you know, is Melissa Barragan Taboada. So, as you know, Melissa is the editor of The Great Divide, a powerhouse of a team at the Boston Globe that investigates educational inequities in Massachusetts. She has overseen stories that examine late school buses plaguing Boston public schools families, the fight for free school lunches in Massachusetts, and most recently, the impact of Boston's notorious busing program to integrate Black and white students. As a leader and as an NHJ member, Melissa helps foster community in a city where that can be hard to find at times, especially for Latina transplants. She is one of the biggest cheerleaders for Latina journalists that I know. But don't just take it from me.
Melissa is a transformative leader who supports her team members and mentors journalists across the industry. In her coverage, she has shone light on the plight of Latino students in New England, bringing awareness to the challenges of bilingual families. She also helped run one of the Globe's landmark projects this year, a multi-part series on the impact of busing. Melissa took care to ensure that families' needs were at the center of our coverage.
My summer internship at the Globe would not have been the same without Melissa as my editor. I came wanting to gain experience in education reporting, and she made sure I got it. And as a young Latina female journalist, it made such a difference to me to work with someone who not only values my worldview, but is intentional about covering underrepresented people and issues.
She brings this thoughtfulness and empathy to everything she does. She is a true leader in coaching and uplifting journalists who do their best work, both at the Boston Globe and beyond.
Melissa, we are honored to present to you this award. Under your leadership, the Great Divide team has published eye-opening stories about how racial, ethnic, and class inequities persist across New England schools, all while centering people most affected. We are so lucky to have a newsroom leader like you in the Boston area. We hope you'll say a few words now if you have a moment, Melissa.
Thank you. Thank you so much for this honor. I'm not good at this. This has been the NHJ group has run really amazing and has felt like family since I first moved here. I came here from Texas 3 years ago, and I've just been accepted and embraced with so much warmth. And, you know, when Steph called me, I told them, like, no, there's other people. In this group that's doing really, really meaningful work. And so I'd also want to honor you all for the work that you're doing to elevate Latinas and Latinos across New England. I was at my niece's quinceañera recently, and my sister got up and spoke and talked about how our family got to the US from Mexico. And one thing that my mom really taught me and taught my siblings was that to know when to fight. And she can be really opinionated. It drives me crazy sometimes, but she always fought for people who couldn't fight for themselves. And just simple things that she did, bringing food to neighbors when you wouldn't think that we would, we just didn't have a lot of means. And so like just seeing that intentionality and like wanting to replicate that in my life of serving others and having leadership through servanthood, to me is really important. And I guess the thing that I want to do most to have impact is like being able to raise up a next generation of leaders themselves. So thank you so much for this honor. I really appreciate it.
I just want to leave some space for that speech. Melissa, it's been so wonderful getting to know you. I have a whole thing I'm supposed to say now, but I do want to note, like, there are chapters that are very large in NAHJ. And what this small but mighty chapter has done in the last 5 years through a pandemic, through coverage of some of the most difficult times in this country and abroad, through really, really hateful rhetoric nationwide, covering ourselves in many cases, which is even more difficult, regardless of, whether you're an immigrant, Latino person, queer person, and being told sometimes that our lived experiences impact our journalism, but in fact, it makes it better. No matter photo, video, print, opinion, like the work that we are doing in this region changes narratives. And I feel like sometimes I'm a broken record at my office and other places, but sometimes we sort of, like, the air gets taken out of those words, but it's really important, especially as people are being laid off, especially as we're losing journalists, especially as institutional knowledge kind of either retires or gets, people take like buyouts and layoffs are a reality. And so within all that, I just want to say how proud we are as a board of everything you all do. And also I want to acknowledge that we have, Lisa Button here. I think Vanessa de la Torre is probably with her family, but she is, because she's the reason that we have sponsorship from the New England News Collaborative. Cindy's the reason we have this award ceremony. Lisa set the foundation for the boards that came after. We have so many people willing to do this volunteer work to maintain this chapter in an area that's really hard, really, really difficult to work in sometimes, and I think that's why I know that this chapter is going to continue as people go, because people are going to take it over and keep realizing how important it is to have a gathering of 30 some odd folks to acknowledge one another and say, like, this is important, keep going, just keep going. Your awards will be arriving soon, and we encourage you to post photos of yourself with your awards on social media. Please tag NAHJ New England. Again, thank you to our sponsors, to the New England News Collaborative, and to our top sponsor, the Boston Globe. Thank you for supporting NAHJ New England and our members. We will be back next year to celebrate the authentic storytelling of Latina journalists. Nos vemos el próximo año. Have a great night. We are finishing 15 minutes early, so if you want to unmute yourself and just say something, I'm good. I'm done hosting.
Yeah, good job, Cristela. Good job, everyone.
We love you guys.
This was amazing. I was going to cry a couple of times, but I held it back. Melissa, that was really, I thank you for sharing all of that about your family and everything. It's just, yeah, I can kind of read between the lines a little bit there. And it was just really, I'm glad that you're finding family here, because it's hard, when you're the only one or the lonely one. So.
And thank you to Steph, our fearless leader, who got us through this entire event this year, did a good lion's share of the work. They are a remarkable precedent, and they just started. So I look forward to continuing under you and seeing what else this board gets to do. As they are
Yay, Steph.
Thank you.
Let's
A
go,
lot of that was
Steph.
also
Let's
Cindy.
go. Yeah.
Yay, Steph. And
And
everybody,
Cindy. Cindy
congrats.
also helped.
Marina and Belen, all these great people.
We can call it. Thank you all. We appreciate you. We'll see you soon at the next one.
Thank you, Krista.